And then Nicta's like, that's not enough. I want to live that life. Now that I have it, I want to live it. And just kind of these two generations meeting each other, and like maybe not the most not using dialogue really in like communication. It was just pain. So to answer your question, DJ, I feel like there's just such a like Spree have been getting killed by the army. We've been target number one. I connect to all these people all over the world and create this movement, and I see my comrades die consistently because of witches on the behalf of humans whom I don't respect. So I think that just fuels that anger. And not to mention what happened in Liberia. I said this already in a couple interviews, but Nicta's power is pretty intense. And I had to build a lot of backstory as to like what it was to control this power of killing people. And I had to really mark for myself, like, who did she kill accidentally in her life? So what has it cost her to have that power before being able to master it? And then what does it mean then to offer that power so naively to Alder and be like, oh, this is going to be used, like, I just believe in Alder, anything he does. And then having it used against people that actually were fighting for liberation. So I think that pain of those witches in Liberia is carried with Nicta throughout this whole time. And her adoration for Alder is just like such a huge slap in the face, given all the people she's lost. She's believed and idolized this person for so long. So all of those things fuel Nicta.
It's just been compounding over the years.
Yes. Yeah. She's angry, and also she's been in the woods, like, I don't think she's a big, like, let me talk to troops of people. I think she's more in the back, like, good stuff.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, is she like a charismatic like leader and mastermind, or is it more like she seeded the idea but really like operates through others? So I'm really curious to see like how that emerges next season.
Yeah, I mean, again, very excited to see what they write. Just never know. They might just be like, never mind, Nicta's jolliest.
Well, she's the one kind of driving the Granny Casino bus, I think. So they'll have to figure something out.
I was like, can we start season 3 and then like we're all like elderly people because we're like fire-faced and we're all like, let's get off the bus.
That would be amazing.
That would be hilarious if you were like,
God.
Please send that note to Elliot before you start filming the season, because I want to see all of you like as old people, like sort of golden girling it off the bus. It'd be incredible.
I would love that.
God.
Or if we could do like a musical version. These are my asks for season 3.
Yes. I remember Jess had been saying she was dogging for a musical season last year too. I feel like I remember some comment at some point. You need it.
Try our magic and be like, hey, Elliot. I know that Jess wants to dance. I know Jess loves dancing, and I think she's a dancer before. So very happy to be able to have the dance in Beltane. And I was like, I want to dance too. Let's just all dance.
The Beltane dance was excellent. It was one of my favorite scenes.
I want the whole cut. I want all of it.
Yeah. And also having all these dancers come in is like, because they came in for the second season as well, but we didn't get to see them because, again, COVID. But I was just, the dancers are here.
That's incredible. So one of the things I really loved about Nicta is she has her moments. Like, she certainly does her Hannibal Lecter and she's kind of evil, but she's also really funny in places. Like, I was dying with some of like the snarky lines. Like, I loved Nicta's like, whatever, bro, like sort of energy. And especially anytime she talked to Tally, like their dynamic was so snarky and fun. And actually our fans had a similar question. So one of our fans, INF1, at INF1 on Twitter, actually wanted to know how many of your snarky one-liners were ad libs, because season 2 was so intense. Those little clips were really, really effective in the moment, and because it really kind of cut through the tension and added this different like little flavor to it. So how much did you improv versus or have input into that side of Nicta, like the snarky fun side of her?
I would love to be like, hey everyone, I am just so clever and cool. That was purely me, but it was 0% me. It was all Elliot and Brian and the incredible team. They just wrote, I feel like they wrote this character so seamlessly, and I just get the scripts and I'd be like, oh yes, I feel this, no problem. And they told me when we had our meetup at the character, they're like, yeah, she's fun. She's fun and snarky and like brings some comedy. And I didn't know what to expect. And then I got the scripts and I was like, okay, great. I'm here for this. I am so here for this. So yeah, I'm so sorry to say none of it's mine.
The art is in the performance and the line. I don't know how much this was intentional, but I said this on a previous podcast episode, but Nicta reminds me a little bit of Spike from Buffy, right? That kind of like,
ooh, I've gone that before. Yes.
Yeah, right. And and actually now that, especially where you're going in season 3, I'm like, boy, if you were the Spike of the cast, they would be like top notch sort of comparisons. The little
early Spike,
intentional or not.
Early Spike. We'll clarify that in case you didn't. Early
Spike.
Yes, thank you so
not
much.
Spuffy. No Spuffy Spike.
No. Thank you. Yes. Also the outfits, like similar outfits too. Similar boots.
Yeah. Yeah.
All you need is a leather jacket for season 3.
I know. I maybe
ask for a leather jacket.
Frosted tips.
Yeah. That's right.
Cool.
I
borrow Taylor's bleach. Borrow Taylor's bleach.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So it definitely sounds like even with COVID going on, you guys were still able to go ahead and have some really cool, fun moments and try and make the best out of the situation. One of our fans, Arm GUI at Arm
Gilmet,
I
think. Yeah.
My French is so terrible.
Yeah.
And Gemma Sparkles too. Maybe.
Gem.
Want to know if you have a favorite behind the scenes moments and if any fun or funny moments, getting to know them, bloopers, a cherished memory, anything like that. Well,
something that was kind of like an ongoing ridiculous thing is, you know how Nick is wearing this muzzle?
Yes.
It kept falling off. So I'd be like, and like screaming. And then Unit would be looking at me like, and then it's like slowly my face, and I'd be like, fuck.
And see, that's an interesting scene alone, because it's kind of a Bellatrix Hermione instance, because you're playing Tally, who's disguised as Nicta. So that on top of trying to put that kind of look on your face with the prop falling off.
It was just hilarious because they were like, we wanted to be scary. It was a fine balance because they wanted people to still feel it was Nicta.
Mm-hmm.
And they wanted the unit to be scared. And I also wanted to give that to the unit, like perform that so that they are also like, what? But it's Tally. And the muzzle was continuously falling off my face. And it would just happen in all these different takes, or like even when I was like I had been beaten up and they're trying to put the muzzle on me, like Jess was just like, I can't. And it was just great because all these things would be like at the peak of like intensity, and then it would just like slowly just like, it was like the mask was just like, go fuck yourself, everyone. And
like the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like I think that those became very humorous to me. I found them pretty funny. And also we were all together. We got to to play with the unit and other folks and take ourselves a little bit less seriously. Also, Ashley is hilarious. Ashley is such a ham that there just be moments again where we have to be very serious with each other. And the camera would be like behind us so no one could see us. So we'd just be giving each other like the weirdest looks and then like go back to like performing. But yeah, I think those are the most fun. And then when we're all together for the bus, because I was just like, Kalita, Tony, Petra, like everyone was just there, and everyone's kissing and fire bus situation. Yeah.
I love how everybody kind of had like someone to couple off with, and then like Nicta just had her lighter, like her beloved lighter. Like I'm like, someone hug this woman. Someone give her some. She deserves a hug.
Nicta's feeling awkward AF.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, and I was just like, I don't have any friends, but I
have my lighter.
Yeah,
my life.
lighter.
My
And
one
impress
friend.
people. Yeah.
Yeah. That's where I
Yeah.
kind of get that Spike vibe. She's like, I can't believe I'm stuck with these idiots like on a bus for how like what has happened? What is my life?
Oh, that's so true. Thank you so much for that comparison. It's now in my
Oh.
heart.
Well,
So
there you go.
I'm gonna bring it in with me. We'll bring it
So
forward.
I see that potential in Nicta. That's what I find so like really exciting and dynamic. I feel like she could be one of those great like all-time villains for me, like in my headspace, like up in that pantheon, but like you know, that sort of the sexy rogue bisexual energy, kind of like, you know, like Loki, Spike, like that kind of thing. If that's what you're going for, you're nailing it, girl.
Oh, love it. Love it.
All right. So I know you can't spoil anything for season 3. So
Right. I
with
know
the caveat that you know nothing. So,
I know
but our fans, they still want you to play along with us, and maybe you said you have
yes.
your own headcanons. So, or kind of based on where you understand Nicta is today, right? Without anything. We had a fan, Misery Mind, at Misery Mind _ Korea on Twitter, and she wants to know what's your point of view on the Nicta Scylla duo in the future? Because I mean, at the end, Scylla kind of abandoned the ideology of the spree a little bit, right? To like go hang out with her girlfriend. So in your head, when you're thinking about that, do you think that Nicta is going to have some tension with her, maybe blame her? Or do you think she'll maybe take on more of a mentor role? Like, how do you see that relationship potentially playing out?
I've been asked this question before, and I feel like the whole point of the spree is that you get to live your life. And that you get to be in it or out of it when you're done, you know. No one is forced to be in there. So if Scylla is being like, this is the life, this is my life that I want to live, then I think Nicta would be like, go for it, honey. You know,
You
have
do
fun.
you.
Yeah, you do you. And but again, I don't know if Elliot's just gonna throw me a curveball and be like, ah! I'm against it. No, I just feel like they're gonna get along, and Nicta will just be impressed with the fact that Scylla's adapting the work. I think that's kind of gets her off, that people are like adapting this canon work, and that this off canon work. I think Nicta's probably got a little bit of like a with canon, being like, oh, canon.
Who needs rules?
Yeah, being like, we're so cool. Let us just be cool. Let us just be cool witches. So yeah, I don't assume there'll be tension, but they have to generate conflict. And so there's for sure going to be like all these people on this bus come from completely different perspectives. And yeah, I'm curious to see who they're going to make like butt heads on that bus. Because there's no way we're going to all be like, yes, let's do it.
Yeah. Like the number of permutations is quite interesting when you do look at like who's on that bus right now. Like, so you're talking about, we have like the original trio, which is like, you know, the bellwether unit. Then you've kind of got like you and Scylla and Quinn, kind of like the more dark side, right? And then you've got Adil and Kalita just in the middle being like, what is happening? Like, you know?
And Kalita just recently shifted to being like, yeah, I'm going to defend myself. You know, like there's, they've come from such a strong pacifist, like identity and culture that they're now putting to the side to survive and to protect whoever's left from the witch entity, what are we called? The witch force? I don't know.
Witch force. I like that.
Force.
Witch force. Yeah.